Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Don't Be Mad podcast. Another week, another dose of the homies kicking back, shooting the shit, listening to good music, catching that good old feel of March 1st, which means March Madness is around the corner.
Yup.
I'm your boy Lefty Lucky. Matthew is the real name. Here as always with
Jamali.
And Jason behind the pros.
Thank you for clarifying. And you know how it is, man. We've been away for a little bit. Blame it on me. I had a little hiatus with the family, as I told you guys last time we were on the mics, but it's all smiles and joys and happy times this week around. Let's start this off the right way. How was the week? How's the mental health? How you guys been since the last time I saw you?
I've been good.
Yeah?
Living.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I haven't been complaining. Just chilling, trying to survive the winter.
Did you guys have your dose of coffee? Because the energy's a little low.
Nah, man.
Jamali just finished work.
I don't do coffee.
I'll get you a Red Bull, no worries.
I've never had that in my life.
Really? Not that bad, actually. In doses, in small doses.
It's fine. I don't.
People who buy those like 500 milliliter cans are dependents.
I don't even want to sip.
My week's been pretty good. All the extended families that came from like Toronto, New York, and Barbados are out, which means I'm not going to be getting as much food as I've been posting about on Instagram. But it's been a good time, man. It was great to see them all. Obviously, the reason why was a bit low, but just being together as a family and helping each other stay up was great. And as a result, we got this new group chat going on where we've been annoying the hell out of each other ever since. So it's been good times.
Hey.
So shout out to the Bajan clan. Love y'all.
It's good stuff, man.
Yeah, man. So where should we start this? Who's got the feels? Who wants to go? Should I just go?
Just go.
Should we start with something light? Some Oscar?
If you want.
I mean,
Passed already, but
why not? Everything we talk about is past already. That's
We don't predict the future.
I mean, I wish we could find out those lottery picks back. Yeah, man. Oscars came and went. It was a great showing, as most people felt until the end of it when the Green Book won Best Film, but I wasn't really surprised about that whatsoever. Just because of all like the diversity wins that were happening, I was like, the okie doke is on the way. I could see the jig in the air. It's coming.
Did anyone actually see that movie?
I did not. Like the reason I didn't see it is because I watched one commercial where Vidar was telling Mahershala about fried chicken. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm out, man.
Yeah, why do you want to go after Black Panther? I can't watch Medea. Can't watch all these white people saving black people and stuff like that.
The white savior film is kind of.
Can't do it.
I mean, like, there's been enough of them that I didn't feel we needed another one.
Medea's not a white.
No, but I'm talking about like.
I think I've watched like 2 Medea films in my life.
Medea films are fun.
I'm talking about how ridiculous it is, how they make black people look. That's what I'm saying.
I know. I just looked at it like when I saw that one commercial where literally Vidar was just like, "Yeah, you've never had fried chicken." And I'm just like, "No, you guys can't do this." First off, it looked like Driving Miss Daisy, but like the male version of it. And then you're telling me this white guy's gonna tell this black guy about fried chicken and tell him just throw the bones out the window? Nah. I was out at that point. I'm like, I don't care what this movie's about. I'm not in.
I saw that commercial.
And on top of it, like, there was a lot of people who were complaining about like historical context of it, but at the same time, like, I look at it as anytime you see based on a true story, right, you know there's going to be exaggerations, there's going to be changes because
there's like 10% of the script. Yeah, that's actually right.
You can literally have 5% or 2% of like an actual events and say it's based on a true story as long as like that 2% is in there, you know, like,
and it's built. The film is centered around
exactly,
that.
You know, and the thing is, like, I know people had issues with the way Mahershala's character was portrayed, and they said like that this whole situation, him like going through the South, playing the piano, and the way his relationship was with the bodyguard that he had it wasn't essentially like that. And to me, it's like once the family is essentially saying like, no, this isn't how it went down. All right, like I have my reservations at that.
But you know what was funny in regards to that? The family, when they said that's not how it happened, the director of the film, whatever he said, I was respecting his wishes not to reach out to his family because this is the story that he wanted told. But in the same Not even 2 seconds later,
respecting.
he said, "I never even knew the family existed." I'm like, you just said he not to reach out to anyone. How do you know the family didn't
Wasn't
exist?
like there was a lot of discrepancies with the way that whole thing went down, and even
He's
like
terrible.
when Mahershala Ali won his supporting actor Oscar, he went up there and literally apologized to the family for the depiction of his character towards the reality of the guy who he was
Yeah.
playing. You know, so I mean, like, there's a lot of things that essentially you can turn an eyebrow to or like turn a cheek to and just be like, yeah, this is questionable. But one thing that was floating around that essentially people felt like this is essentially why I won is because there was a guy who on Twitter had said this movie was liberal enough for people who were left leaning to enjoy it, but conservative enough that like even people who are like racist essentially could
Right.
watch this film and feel like it's not pushing against them. So and this is like obviously from like the scope of like a white person viewing.
Right.
And when you look at the Academy itself, majority of the Academy is
White.
older white people. So yeah, if older white people are watching this, whether they're left leaning or right leaning, and they feel this way towards it, you can understand why they're gonna look and be like, well, yeah, this is a movie that I like, and it promotes a black person, and it shows a white guy in a good light, and his dealing with race relations, and you know, older white people love a good race relation story.
I don't give a fuck. Black Panther should have won all the way. Black Panther.
I don't know if Black Panther should have won. I think Roma should have won. I genuinely like that movie was really good.
You know why I don't like those type of movies? Because they're Oscar bait. They're movies
Oh, yeah,
just
of
made
course.
to win Oscars. Specifically Oscars. That's it. Black Panther, however, no one expected Black Panther to win an Oscar, but because of the strong performance, it merited being there.
No,
And that's
yeah,
why
I agree with that.
That's why I think
I
Black
agree with
Panther
that.
should have won, because it wasn't it wasn't a movie. It's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
It wasn't made to win an Oscar, and for it to get that recognition, it deserved.
Yeah,
the
no,
Oscar.
I agree. But like, I look at it like this: if I literally had my choice, it would have been Black Panther. Just complete personal bias. Like, I would look at Black Panther and be like, because I love comic book movies, I want to see comic book films get the respect they deserve, considering how big production is, how far these actors go. You know, how the costumes, the set designs, the storylines, all that. I look at it and
Well, they
a
didn't
lot
win
of times
costume.
there's a stigma against these movies because they just look at them as like the action blockbusters to get the big bucks. But I also look at what Black Panther did culturally and the fact that you're not going to get a movie that can make this much money unless people are genuinely enjoying it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know, like there's been so many comic book movies that come out that just give you the action, but they don't resonate with a culture specifically. Nor does it translate over to other cultures and allow them to just be like, you know what, I may not be in this culture, but I'm enjoying this film for what it's teaching me or what it's exposing me to.
But I think the time it came out too played a major role in that.
Oh, of course.
The
It came
political
out.
climate.
It came out
all
in
of
a
that plays a role.
very rampant political climate. It came out in Black History Month. It came out at a time when it was recently after an Oscars where you had the Oscars so white
Right.
situation happening. So there were a lot of things that played into Black
that.
Panther being big, but for a movie to hit $1 billion mark worldwide,
But I think I'm sure they factor that in too, right?
no, and
I
that's
think
essentially
that's
why
probably played
I
against
kind
it.
of give it that play against, and I understand that play against because, I mean, let's step away from Black Panther. Look at Captain Marvel right now.
Yeah.
That movie's coming out on National Women's Day. You have literally the first female superhero lead, and I expect it to be a blockbuster hit. I expect it to be big. It's an origin story from Marvel, which we know they do very well with. And when you look at what, without trying like comparing it to Wonder Woman, when Wonder Woman came out, being that like first like DC's female lead superhero,
Right.
women resonated with it because it's something that they've been asking for a long time, and it's something that I felt that genre needed. So now you have essentially Marvel's version of that, and like I said, I don't want to do the comparisons because I feel like each movie should stand on its own. But you're gonna see that surge of women looking at this character and saying, "Look, this is something we got to get behind."
Oh, for sure.
And it's going to benefit from that. So, yeah, Black Panther, of course, got that benefit. But like I said, the one thing about Black Panther that got it to the stature it did was just the fact that it was able to build on a culture and then on top of that, invite people into the culture. It didn't isolate people from that culture.
And It was just a good movie overall.
And it was a good movie.
It was a good movie overall.
And like you said, like looking at a movie like Roma, which one thing with Roma, it's a Netflix film. The Academy always has a very like pompous look at anything that comes out on Netflix. And for whatever reason, you know, they treat it as if it's lesser than, even if you get like the best names, the best actors, the best production. You know, they treat it like it's lesser than because it's not coming out in theaters, because it's taking like this backdoor route towards popularity where it's, everybody's paying their 12 to whatever amount of money to have Netflix. So the access is there. It's like anybody could just turn it on and watch it, and that's how it's going to get its ratings.
Well,
you know?
that's what they have to adapt to, because that's what life is going to be like right
exactly.
now.
Like
you can't,
streaming is
you can't
what's
just
next.
Go to the movies and just watch.
What I liked about
anymore.
Roma was the fact that, you know, first off, it's an international film.
Right.
It's the acting I felt was really, really good. You're getting this look into a life of like an immigrant, and it's essentially like, it's an Oscar type film, but anything I feel is good should be an Oscar type film, because that's what the Academy is for. Whether it's built for it or it's like released around the time when Oscars are looking at what's going to be coming in, take that out of consideration. Like Roma itself was just a good film. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. I don't know.
So like those would have been like, if I had to flip a coin and choose, I would have been happy with the result either way. If like that were my choices between those two films.
All I'm saying is the strength of the Black Panther got stripped away.
Well, no, it's not like it walked away with absolutely nothing.
No, they won best.
They had a couple
costume,
best costume, best set design.
Best set design. They won a couple.
Did they win only two, or there might have been
4,
another?
I think, in total. But
I think like the two
ones
that got aired were those two, and then there's always the ones that happen behind the scenes, because like there's hundreds of awards that go out, maybe even more, that we don't hear about, you know. But it got some wins, so it's not like it just kind of went out there and got fizzed away with just those two, and like everything else was just kind of nothing, you know.
Yeah, man.
It got its wins. Spike gets his first.
Yep.
For Black Klansman.
Yeah, but that deserved it. But he should have had one for the Malcolm X movie.
Oh yeah, look, we can we can go down the list of actors, actresses, directors, screenwriters who should have won for things but didn't win for things. But I feel like Black Klansman, for Spike Lee to get it on this, I feel like he played the game well but stayed true to himself.
Well, I think if he didn't get it on this, it would have been a
travesty.
Yeah, it would have been.
It would have been a travesty, because looking at what Spike has done throughout his whole career, like being an independent filmmaker and always just essentially saying, fuck the status quo. Like, I'm going to do films my way. I'm going to talk about the stories that are passionate to me. I'm going to put the people in them and break the people that I feel are deserving. And then with this movie, he kind of does the same thing, but at the same time, he branches away from his usual blueprint of making film. And he essentially dives into what does the Academy really look for as far as like the casting and then the setting. You know, like you have a movie that's about a black and white detective who infiltrate the Ku Klux Klan.
Right.
You're essentially benefiting from the climate as well, but he tells it in the way that we're not creating heroes here. We're essentially just telling this story from the scope. Oops, put that on silent. My bad. Yeah, we're telling the story from the scope of the two people who are most involved and how their relationship worked as far as like exposing what the Ku Klux Klan was doing.
Right.
You know, and I felt like it was really well done on his part, and congratulations to him to finally get that Oscar. And thank God he didn't break Samuel Jackson's back when he jumped.
all those sitting through those Knicks games actually paid off.
Hey, you know what? When you watch the Knicks that long, you deserve a win.
Yeah, you deserve a win after that.
When you were that devoted, you deserve a win.
I'm taking shots at the Knicks any chance I can
I'm
get.
telling you, when I saw him jump and hug Samuel Jackson, I got scared for a second, man.
Samuel Jackson's fine.
No, I'm not saying Samuel Jackson, but like, come on, Samuel Jackson's like in his mid to late 60s. Like, you can't just jump on a guy like
But I think that was very like iconic of a moment.
It was genuine, man.
Knowing that he literally broke Samuel Jackson's career open, right?
Yeah.
With Pulp Fiction. So
no, not Pulp Fiction.
Not Pulp
Do
Fiction.
the right thing.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing.
Are you sure?
Yeah,
Pulp Fiction is
Tarantino.
Tarantino.
Which one? Yeah, it is Do the Right
Do
Thing.
the Right Thing.
You're right.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing.
But yeah, no, that's essentially a trope to the Academy knowing that this was the right person to give it to him. And they do that a lot. Like, they'll have the right person present the award to a person they know is going to win. So it's like, yeah, like, good for Spike Lee, man.
Well, let him celebrate that win.
Hey, man, I'm happy for him. Other notables, Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper.
No one cares about
No one
that.
cares about
shit.
You guys don't care about that?
No.
You don't think they're fucking?
No,
No.
I don't care.
It's a great song, though.
No, it's not.
What?
No.
Oh, you guys are bugging.
You don't like that song?
No, I don't.
In the
It's terrible.
sha-la-la-la-la-la-los.
No.
Oh, that's a great song.
Do you
man.
know they have to stop making a remake of a remake of a remake of a remake? It's the same
Dude,
thing.
It's a good song.
It's the fourth movie of the same movie.
but it's still a good song.
No,
I don't
it's
care.
terrible.
I don't like it.
Terrible.
Sometimes you just gotta get that feed.
I don't have it. Move
The
on.
way he looked in her eyes, it was so passionate.
Oh, please.
Oh, Lord.
Hey, I like them both, man. Whether they're banging or not, I like them both. Good for them. They killed the stage. They had everybody talking.
Not me. Not everybody.
Everybody that matters.
Oh. Okay.
Who else? The actor from Bohemian Rhapsody. I have his name. Hold on a second.
Something Malik or whatever. I could. be
Rami
saying-
Malek.
Right,
Rami
yeah.
Malek. Yes.
I was happy for him. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Queen. Big fan of the movie, even though there were some historical context things that they kept out of there, you know, like the whole AIDS situation, all that stuff. But overall, great film. He deserved to win it. He fucking killed that role of Freddie Mercury.
He probably deserved to win an Oscar for Mr. Robot. Not that.
Well, that would be an Emmy.
Well, Emmy, whatever.
Yeah.
An Emmy.
I think he did win an
Did he?
Emmy for it, if I'm not mistaken.
Maybe the show. I think the show won. Not him.
No, I'm
Sure.
quite sure he, in the earlier seasons of Mr. Robot, he won an Emmy for his role. I'm positive of it.
I have to check that.
We could check.
After.
But yeah, who needs facts right now?
After we'll check it.
Guys at home, check for us. Let us know.
Mhm.
But I'm quite sure he did win an Emmy for that. But yeah, I know. Like he won Best Lead Male. Great for him. Glenn Close got screwed again. Sorry for her.
I don't know what she did.
She was in shit.
That's why she didn't win.
No, well, you guys know I'm horrible with titles. That's why
You're
I
the
keep
only
the
one who
phone
seems
close.
to watch and enjoy this type of show.
I mean, I'm trying to bring some content here. Be nice if I got some help.
It's like a bedtime story.
No, I just watched the red carpet. That's all I did.
I'll watch
the red
none of
carpet.
those things.
You want to talk about Billy Porter?
No, let's skip that.
The greatest man to ever rock a dress on the red carpet,
Next.
looking like a fucking
I just looked at Javari's
goddamn
face.
diva. Slay, my man, Slay.
This dude had a
Killed it,
tux.
best dress.
He had a tux and on the top half.
Tuxedo
and the bottom half, he
top.
had a ball
A
gown dress or something.
Nice flush ball gown dress.
Bruh.
Killed it.
Bro,
Killed it.
I'm just looking at Javari's.
Killed it.
we could continue. We'll move on.
Yo, you didn't see him, so it's okay. He killed it.
I'm glad I
And
did
Billy
it.
Porter is always killing fashion, so that's the one thing you got to
You call that fashion? Really?
What's wrong with him wearing a dress?
All right.
Pick one. Anyone could just put on a top half of a suit.
But can they kill it the way he did it? Do you want to see a picture? I can find
No,
it for
it's
you.
cool, bro.
Don't hate, man. He rocked that shit, man. I'm telling you. He fucking
That's
killed
cool.
it. I'm a fan of Billy Porter, though. Like, I watched Pose. I thought that show was amazing. His role on that show was to die for, man. Like, he fucking killed that shit. And he's always been somebody that's, like, just respected for the way he kills designs and kills outfits and just goes out there and just eccentric himself, never bows down to anything, just does what he wants. And like I said, man, came out there to the Oscars on the red carpet and shut that shit down. Good for him. All right, who's on the next topic, man? Where are we going?
We can talk about, well, in a general sense, we can talk about what's going on we could talk Canada and U.S. We could leave for, I guess. So we'll leave U.S. for last.
SNC-Lavalin?
Yes, SNC-Lavalin. This is more, I guess, political. for
What?
everyone.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
You might want to know this too, huh? Depending on
It's
how much money you
important,
have to
man.
save. It's true. This is
if this shit hits the fan, Justin Trudeau is looking funny in the light, man.
What do you expect?
I mean, not what I expect. It's just what the people need to know.
So essentially, I guess, give it a little context of what's going on. SNC-Lavalin was caught in some shit like a couple years ago doing bad business with, I think, Syria, Gaddafi and his family, whatever. Not Syria. Libya. Sorry. Right. And they had bad contracts, and they were like getting bribes and everything like that. And essentially, what they wanted to do is close down the company, but Trudeau pushed not to close it down because Quebec and it's a Quebec-based company, and a lot of people lose their jobs because of it,
right?
Which in turn will cost them votes,
right?
So they pressured the Attorney General, Jody Wilson-Raybould.
Yeah, I heard her little speech.
She didn't want to do it. They switched her out. She complained, and now they're doing a big investigation about it.
Yeah, they essentially demoted her because they tried to strong arm her into just making that deal so the whole situation would go away, and SNC-Lavalin could just continue doing what they were doing. And she was like, when she went up there and testified, she said straight up, "Are you asking me to essentially break the law?" And then all of them were just
that he was gonna break
the law. Essentially, how it works is that the Prime Minister asked her to find a different way not to stop them from getting government contracts, and they put pressure on her. They didn't tell her no, that she can't do it. They just put pressure on her. That's why they switched her out.
Yeah,
because she wasn't doing it.
Like, essentially what was happening was every single top aide in the Liberal Party would come to her and be like, it would be bad if we didn't make this deal happen, like right. it wouldn't be good
Prime Minister's
if you didn't make this happen. Like, you need to find any way possible. Like, they're essentially insinuating that, like, if you don't get this done, we will get you the fuck out of here, And every single time, like, any time this situation was brought up, like, whether it was Trudeau talking about anybody else, or like, no, like, she knows what the situation is. She's gonna find a way to get it done. Like, we trust her. And, like, they essentially, like, downplayed what they were doing to the media, but then behind closed doors, they were essentially telling her, like, your job and your life in politics depends on you getting this done.
Well, not necessarily that. They just wanted the party itself didn't want to lose votes.
Yeah,
for the next election.
That was the biggest.
That's the big thing.
Part of it all.
Well, not only that, I think the bigger part of it. I think we were putting the vote issue in front of it, but from what
that's the excuse,
right? But when I heard I heard her I guess
testimony?
Press conference
testimony,
and I heard his reply right after. Do I agree with politics? No. Like, I think it is what it is. It's part of the society normative way of doing things. I don't really participate. I've never hid that. But I think his main concern was more so the social effect it would have. People losing their pension, people losing jobs. And I think if that wasn't a concern of his, that would have been a problem.
You would have let the company fail. You would have, if people's pensions and money and investments wasn't invested into that company, because right. I'll just explain it. So how the company is owned by what we call here Caisse de Dépôt. Essentially, it's what do you call those in English? I don't even know what it's called. Caisse de Dépôt. Essentially, it's where you invest your money for your pension plans.
Right, pension plans.
And so company, you save your money. And the thing is, if those people lost all their jobs, they would take out all their money to keep for themselves.
Right, it would be a collapse.
And it would be a collapse of everything. So it's essentially, my thing is, I've always said it's part of the game.
Yeah, it is.
For studying politics, I study politics, it's part of the game. That's what it is. That's actually what happens all the time. But the thing is, she came in front of it, and the only reason she came forward is because she got demoted to a different position, because it's a lower profile than what she was doing as Attorney General.
Which I'm not mad at her for speaking up after.
Oh no, it's fine.
No, but I think I am mad because you know why? At the end of the day, when this was going on, her duty was to be honest to the Canadian public if that's what she wanted to do. Don't come and speak out now you got demoted, bro.
Well, no, that's not essentially what it was. While it was going on, she was looking for a way to figure out how they can deal with this, but she didn't want to essentially save the execs who were screwing over the people, and just to keep their money and keep the votes to the Liberals. For her, it was no, if this is wrong, I'm not going to do it. So because all that time went by and like they didn't get the deal done, that's why they demoted, because they're like, all right, if you're not going to give into the pressure, we're going to do as we said we were. We're going to demote you, put somebody else in your stead who's just going to make the deal, and then nobody's going to be any of the wiser.
There's a way. You have
I
to
still
navigate
think there
it.
was time. She had enough time to be honest and straightforward. I think a lot. Let's say she did get the deal done, right? Hypothetically speaking, this would have been like another situation with the Montgomery Commission, and you would hear about it years later. Taxpayers' money would have been wasted to do a useless hearings and all that type of shit. I just think it's ridiculous. People are going after Justin Trudeau. What do you expect from a guy who has zero political history other than now that when he ran for the prime minister position?
I think the people
Well,
expect the thing he
political
said he was going to bring to politics, which is complete and total transparency. And look,
understandable. It's easy
we
to
know the politics game. We
Right.
know transparency and politics is bullshit.
Of course.
But if that's what you're going to run on, if that's what's going to be your high horse, then understand that high horse has to be maintained. And I think that's why everybody now is looking at it as, like one thing we knew you were not going to be able to do is coming back to bite you in the ass right now.
Okay, fair enough. But I think obviously it's the opposition's goal to make these situations look bigger than they really
But no,
are.
you know why the opposition is making it bigger than it is? Because the person who they have there, the conservative one especially, he can't win.
No, he's not going to win.
Because you're looking at Canadian politics. It's like, okay, Justin Trudeau, forget whatever you think about him. Who else do you have? Who else is there? That's
the only
you actually
person
think
who's close. And I just say close because I don't think he's in a position at the moment to actually overtake him is Jagmeet Singh.
Yeah.
not even close. He just barely won his riding
that's what I'm saying.
last week.
But I'm saying of all the other people, because I'm sorry, the conservatives as they stand, nowhere near.
They don't offer
They're
anything.
nowhere near.
They don't
the
offer
only
anything
person
enticing.
who's close, and I say close with proximity to everybody else, is Jagmeet Singh. But even at that, I don't think he's in a position where he will overtake. Like, absolutely not.
And that's the thing. And like, for me, if this whole thing, what's going on right now in media, it's not a big thing because happens all the time in backroom deals and politics.
Of
Happens all
course,
the
we
time.
have it here in Montreal. We had the whole Montgomery Commission where
all of
the
that
mayor's
stuff.
taking $3 million kickbacks.
And
and
all that stuff.
It's common practice.
It's like that dude from The Wire. What's his name? Clay Davis. From The Wire. No, he said it's like he said if it's regular political people or anyone else, I just tell them, hey, it's all in the game. That's what it is. It's all in the game. That's how politics work, especially. But it's when more
2 Chainz, man.
It's more when police and stuff catch you.
On it.
Ariana Grande. Sorry, guys.
I was lost.
I mean, you could have texted me if.
But yeah, I think I don't think much will come out from it. I think it'll be a little upward for now. I think Justin Trudeau will be fine, and the conservative dude asking for the prime minister to resign, like, okay,
Not happening.
calm your jets.
Not happening.
That's just
Unless
not
you
gonna
can literally bring up some convincing criminal evidence in this whole situation, there's no way he steps
But
in.
wasn't Stephen Harper also got into collusion with the oil sands in Alberta?
Yep.
There you go. So, you know what I mean? The shoe's on the other foot now, so it looks really bad. But
That's how politics.
That's politics,
That's
bro.
politics how it works.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the reason why I didn't pursue like a career in politics after the bachelor's, it's because it teaches you how to be corrupt. And if you're a morally just person, you don't want to follow that thing because you're gonna just follow it. And
You're
just
morally
become
just
worse.
But I don't think morality and politics go hand in hand.
That's the thing. That's what I'm telling you. If you're a moral person, it's not something you're going to follow for the rest of your life because it clashes. It's a complete clash. You're not.
No,
gonna
you'll
follow
be like you'll be a lot more stressed in politics trying to keep your morals in check and not essentially do these backdoor deals that.
Why do you think everyone goes gray?
Yeah,
when
like
they go in politics, man. They go gray
dude,
quick.
you get in there, and the higher you get, the faster you age, man.
Yep. We saw what happened to Barack.
He
Still
has-
look good though. He still got that jumper.
Hi, I'm Tristan Damour. You might know me from the Scrum podcast.
Hi, I'm Harrison Mueller Jason. You might know me from, anyway.
So we're here to tell you about a new podcast miniseries called Habemus Pod. It's a show about HBO's The Young Pope.
Every episode, we'll feature a guest viewer to talk about an episode. Will they have a fresh perspective on the show 2 years after it aired? We sure hope so.
It's very simple. We talk about 3 things: a highlight, a lowlight, and the very famous Cherry Coke Zero character of the episode.
Yes. And we hope you tune in right here on the Upfront Network.
I'm Tom.
I'm Will.
And we're the hosts of Blasting Off Again, a new Pokemon podcast brought to you by the Upfront Network.
We've decided to take on the task of watching through every episode of Pokemon, providing live commentary and in-depth analysis of everyone's favorite 90s dogfighting cartoon.
We're tackling the hard-hitting issues. Is Brock racist?
Was coughing the first ever suicide bomber?
What are the environmental implications of using Pikachu to power a building?
Will Misty ever get her bite back?
Find out the answer to all these questions and more on Blasting Off Again.
Available on the Upfront Network, iTunes, and wherever you get your podcasts.
We're blasting off again!
Ding.
All right, so let's pivot from the Canadian one and go to the American one. I'm sure the American listeners who watch this and listen to this,
Dude,
know,
I watched this.
they know what happened with
Good
Michael
old
Cohen.
Michael Cohen, man.
This dude, he's diplomat level. Stop snitching, stop lying. T-shirt and the stop sign.
No, you know what?
He snitched on everyone.
But you know what? You got to look at it from his perspective.
Oh yeah, his family is threatened. You got
Outside of his family, just him. Just look at him. He's been disbarred. He's going to jail.
Right.
Like, that's a done deal.
Yeah,
Like,
he's
no
going
matter
for 3
what,
years.
he's going to jail.
Right.
He's in a position now where everybody who was with him has turned their back on him, haven't helped him at all. What more do you owe to these people?
He has nothing to lose.
Absolutely nothing to lose. Because no
Absolutely.
matter
They lost it all already.
whether
yeah.
he spoke up or whether he decided to remain silent, he's going away.
Go to jail.
So I look at it as, yeah, you get to a point
Well-
where you were literally at the end of your rope, and the only thing you have left, especially in his case, is your morality.
He can get his sentence still lowered still, depending on the information he gives to.
Well, like he's such a, he's not looking for that. All he wants is protection for his family.
Yeah, but I think if everything turns out to be true and everything happens in regards to Trump, say everything he says is true, he's gonna get a sentence reduced. Or
And look,
anything like
I
that.
believe whatever he has is going to show everything. He's talked about for all of his client. He had hundreds of
Documents.
audio tapes and filings and of over the 10 years that he's dealt with Trump, Hannity, and all these other people. Like, kept everything, which, yeah, that's what a lawyer's supposed to do. And then when he was up there, he said straight up, you know, I worked with this guy for 10 years. I helped and enabled a lot of the shit that he's doing. I've helped and enabled a lot of stuff that you guys are doing, like the way you're attacking me right now.
Right.
You know, putting up my tweets and putting up these posts that you see on like fraudulent websites to like make me look bad. It's like, yeah, I'm the reason you guys do that.
I just think I think I understand why he came forth now. I just think he should have done it from the jump.
Well, no, of course.
Because
Well, look, we can
Because-
all say that, but it's like he said, at the time when he was working with him for 10 years before he got disbarred, there's that attorney-client privilege. And like he said,
no, but he testified before Congress.
no,
before.
and that's the thing, which was fucked up.
He
right.
lied.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which was completely fucked up. At that point, he should have been, you're in
Forthcoming.
front of Congress,
Right.
you take an oath, yeah, you should tell the fucking truth.
But you have to understand, with Trump being president, they thought everyone can get away
Every
with it.
single person
And everyone's
who
getting
was
caught.
under that wing, once he became president, they were like, no matter what happens, we're going to get pardoned. Every single person felt that way. Every single one. So, of course, the guy who's been fixing all of Trump's problems for the past 10 years felt, if anybody's going to be protected,
It's him.
it's me, because
And-
I've been protecting you for a decade.
And it's not even the Russia thing that's going to catch Trump. It's going to be all the tax evasion, fraud, bank fraud, all that. That's what's going to catch
Michael
him.
Cohen says straight
That's
up,
what's going to hurt him.
We have inflated funds when we needed
In
to.
New York?
We've deflated funds when we needed to. We've looked at other surrounding rents and property per square feet cost, and whatever we had, we would just make it look equal to that, so that way people wouldn't look at our numbers.
Right. No, I watched
A lot of fucked up shit, man.
It's going to be worse than Bernie Madoff. Once all that's going to be done.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah, dog. Bernie Madoff stole money.
I don't know
This-
if it'll be worse just
No.
because of the amount of money we're talking about when it comes
And
to
I mean,
to
Trump
Madoff.
cheated the government
Yeah,
and the system out of it. Bernie
Yeah,
Madoff
but-
robbed innocent people
Yeah, but
who trusted him.
yeah,
well, no, like with Trump as well, it will come down to innocent people that he robbed because it's a matter of like what he was putting his, like essentially what he was estimating the profits of his buildings and their worth and things
No,
like
absolutely.
that in order to charge people, and then on top of that, charge corporations and
essentially he was
of the
putting up
like.
free buildings and free properties all the time. That's
Yeah.
all he was doing. He was undervaluing his properties, getting money for it, overvalued, over like excessive money, putting it down on the property, and he's not paying a dime.
Yeah.
It's taxpayers that's paying. That New York course in the Bronx that Alicia, I forget him, Cortez, he says taxpayer paid for that. Trump had put no money into that, and he's using it. It's big fraud, though, and it's multi-billion-dollar properties.
I'm just saying. It is it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Trump's gonna stay there till his 4 years is over, and I think after his 4 years,
I highly doubt it.
the
I
reason
No,
why
I think he will definitely finish his
is he
first
will
term.
finish his time, and then after they go after.
I
him.
would be shocked if, unless the liberals really, or the Democrats, sorry, not liberals, if they could get their shit together, get behind 1, 2, at the very most 3 solid candidates that they push for, because right now, there's still nobody that you really look at from the Democratic Party and feel like this is the lead.
It's gonna be Biden. It's gonna be Biden. It has to
But
be
even-
Biden. It has to be
Even
Biden.
if Biden goes in,
He'll win.
I don't think so.
He'll win.
No.
I genuinely do not think so.
Yeah, Biden
Because
will
the
win.
one thing that the Republican Party has going for them right now is the people that are 100% Trump are swayed by absolutely nothing that comes from the middle or the left. And there's still people in the middle who are just like, well, my life hasn't been ruined since he got in. At the same time, I look at these candidates and do I really want Biden again? Not really, because what is he going to bring? Who are these new people coming in? I don't really know them. What are they going to change once they come in? A lot of these people in the middle will most likely just want to keep things the same, because people, as much as we know change is good, people don't run to change. They'd rather keep things the same, keep it as they know it, keep the evil than bringing in another one.
That's the.
Which is why I look at it like I would genuinely not be shocked if he gets another 4 years.
I don't think he'll get another 4 years.
I
Impossible.
do believe so.
Impossible. He won't get it.
It's not impossible.
Look, from the moment
we never thought
they
George Bush would
elected
have got
him.
another 4 years.
No, as soon as he was versus John Kerry.
no,
he
a
was
lot of
gonna get 4
people,
years.
thought the way those first 4 years went, there was
Yeah,
no
it
way he
was
was going to
over
get
for
elected
that
again.
guy.
A lot of
No.
people were like, "There's
Yeah.
no
You
way
know
he's
how I
going
knew?
back
You
in."
know how I knew he was gonna win from the beginning? 9/11. I knew from there.
Yeah, but people criticized the way he handled
Yes, I
that.
understand, but he
Jason,
came out as a hero
Look at it
when
as the
happened.
average
Started.
person who's not big on politics outside of when politics are shoved in their face.
The-
For us, it's different. Where like we go out of our way to see what's going on, to know the info. We can look at it and be like, "Yeah, John Kerry. There's no fucking way he's gonna win." We can do that.
Mm-hmm.
The average person, they're gonna have hope.
The average person doesn't vote. That's the problem, and that's you have to understand something how
But that's what I mean.
politics in the states
And
work.
the average person saw the debates. They saw the way those conversations went. And they were like, "Yeah, I don't get this guy," and that's why they were like, "All right, I see how Bush is gonna get there."
Well, I knew Bush was always going to win because
But when it comes to Trump,
Far.
the thing.
another 4 years, man. I see it.
Nah, it's not going to happen.
I see
There's
it.
too much investigations, too much going on right now for another 4 years. He can get challenged in the primary if a Republican decides to run. He can get challenged.
Which would, honestly, if another Republican decides to run, I think that would be the best way for him not to be reelected.
I highly doubt it.
That
I
would,
think if because right now Trump is appeasing his supporters, right? And if the Republican Party was to put someone else in the primaries to run, it's gonna mess up their whole unit. That's why, as much as I'm sure there's Republican right now who are like, "Yo, this guy gotta go,"
oh, of course.
but they're
There's a
not
lot of them.
gonna be the one to step up to
There's
do
a
it.
lot
there's
of
one
them, yeah.
right now. There is one. The former governor of Ohio. He
Yeah.
was just like, if he's not undecided yet, but if he runs, he's already on record saying He does not like Trump. He
Yeah.
always goes against
No,
him any
there's
chance
a
he
good
gets.
portion of the party.
that don't support him, but they would never do
but
it.
the only reason they do support him is because they support
party's
him more.
benefit.
Exactly.
Right.
Than they would ever
So
support
that's what I'm
a
saying.
Democrat.
Right.
Which is why it's like I say the only realistic way I can see Trump not getting another 4 years is if another Republican who is liked by the middle and a good portion of the left comes in and sways you away from what Trump has been doing.
And I don't think there's anybody that's going to do
He's
that.
not going to get another 4 years. It won't get to 4 years. He won't get there. I'm
Don't
telling
be
you,
surprised,
he's either going to lose
I've
or he's
been
going to
saying
get
it from the
impeached.
jump. Trump
not-
got 8 years, bro.
He's not going to make it.
The second he got elected, I was like, America deserves this, and America deserves at the very minimum a decade of this. 8 years, but a decade of this. They deserve it.
He's not staying for the 4
You
years, I
like
guarantee you.
you voted him in. You earned this. You earned what comes with this.
He's not going to stay for the full year. I know this.
Just don't be surprised. That's all I'm saying. Don't be surprised because there's zero shock on my face.
Right.
Because I remember that night when the votes were coming in, and yeah, like I didn't want him to win, but I was like on Twitter just being like, wouldn't be shocked.
Well, I knew he was going to win from time.
I'm like, if there's anything that America needs right now, it's everything he's bringing to the table. It's the controversy, it's the division, it's the complete and total fucking chaos. And America loves that. They love a movie where things blow up. And that's what Trump was.
But that's who Barack was also, right?
Yeah.
So let's not make it seem like
Barack was
literally Trump.
chaos to the a black man running America. That is chaos at its finest.
There you go.
Well, yeah, that's perception thing, but it wasn't a black man of America saying "fuck all you white people."
No,
Or
but what it
saying-
was the complete extreme opposite.
Yeah, but let's be honest though. Trump never said "fuck black people" either.
I love the blacks. The blacks love me.
But that's what,
Okay,
but listen to what I'm saying.
That's
It
what he
was the
said.
complete total opposite. I'm good. Yeah, no, it'll see me while I'm talking to him. I like to look at people I'm talking to. It's the complete total opposite of what Barack was. Barack was prim, proper, speaks very well. You look at him like you're an educated man who knows what you're talking about. You make me believe in what you're saying, and I trust in you. Even if I don't watch anything else you do, I feel like the country's in good hands. The complete opposite of that is literally Trump. If I don't watch what you're doing, I feel like this shit's going down. But the more I watch you, the more I'm like, is this actually fucking happening? It's the complete opposite. So it's that's the chaos.
My thing with Trump is
and that's why I'm saying a Republican member would never come forward because the Republican Party would have to have a person who literally approached Trump as an opposition and therefore would be seen more democratic
to have it happen.
than they would like to.
They need to have it happen, and it will happen. You know why? Because if by any chance Trump gets there was actually collusion with Russia and whatever fraud he's doing with right now, if he gets convicted of that, every single Republican there are out. Anyone who supported him are out.
Bro, they were saying that about, but they were saying that about
too,
George Bush.
It will never
and they got voted out.
But like anything against Trump will not happen while he's president. And the Republicans will do everything in their power to make sure he stays president so it doesn't happen.
It's going to happen.
So
They don't
expect
control the House
another
anymore.
4 years after the first term's done because his followers, the party, they want to protect him from what is inevitable.
But what you have to understand is right now, the next elections is going to happen. More governors are going to be Democrat. They're going to be more Democratic governors. More senators are going to be Democrats.
Well, that's the hope.
And now what's going to happen is they're going to control. The Democrats are going to control.
Because what the Senate right now is still majority Republican. The House
by 2
was
or
the
3
one that
seats.
swung, right?
The House is the one that swung by majority. The House couldn't get its tax forms and all that stuff like that. But what we're saying for the next election is there's most likely good. It's most likely going to happen that Democrats are going to take control, and that's going to be the problem. What do you mean you don't see that? That's what's trending. That's what happened at the House.
Look,
that's what happened in the House.
Not that I don't see it happening. It's a great positive because I feel like the only position in which the Democrats really could get a stronghold would be in the Senate. And considering the House made such a swing, it's more probable that the Senate, at the very least, can get parity. At the very least. So looking at that, especially since you have all these things happening as far as like all these former aides and people that were in the administration coming forward, and like you're getting convictions, you're getting testimonies coming through talking about all the shady shit that was happening behind the scenes during the campaign, before the campaign, things of that nature. That is enough to sway states to say, get that senator out of here. We don't trust him because of the things that he has incorporated with these people. But as far as the president himself goes, it's a lot harder to get him out of position.
They can impeach him right now if they want. If they chose to bring up impeachment things, the House can do it.
They've chose to do it, but you can't just fly impeachment out there and hope it works.
But that's why I said they're waiting for the investigation to clear
exactly.
up.
Like,
that's what I'm
especially
saying.
with everything Michael Cohen has specifically.
Well, what he says, we haven't seen what he has yet.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, what he said he has. So it's the voice memos. It's the files over the 10 years. The amount of things they would have to, like 10 years of documentation is a lot of stuff to go through.
And they said, is there any ongoing criminal investigations about Mr. Trump that you haven't told us about? He said, yes, but I can't talk about it. So that means, other than what we heard him say in the initial thing, the stuff that's still ongoing, they're investigating, that's going on. So there could be still more women.
14 women that had filed for sexual abuse.
It could still be that. That's who knows.
Which is essentially some of them that I would assume that Michael Cohen would be a part of as well.
Already paid off and all that stuff.
Well, I wouldn't even say he's paid off or anything, but I'm just saying like if he's
did
a part of it,
paid them off.
Paid them off. I mean,
yeah.
Paid them
but
off.
what I'm saying is like if he's a part of those trials that are going on, then he can't legally say anything, or
So
at least his counsel would advise him not to say anything because these are trials going on. So hold any words you say because it will be used against you.
I think it's gonna be one of the biggest thing of our generation. We're gonna see him go to jail. I think we're gonna actually see this dude go to jail.
Who, Trump?
And I think his whole empire.
No, I think we will see him go to jail. I just don't think we
will
will see it happen until he's done being paid.
Hey, the Simpson hasn't been wrong yet. According to them, Trump dies, so we'll have to wait and see.
From what?
Well, I seen it. They depicted him in a casket. So
Yeah,
far, they
that's
haven't
true.
been wrong. So we'll just have to wait.
They did have that scene where it was him, the Saudi prince
with the
and-
globe.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had him going down the escalator.
Yeah, they actually called the Washington Capitals winning the fucking Stanley Cup.
So I mean, the
They've been on
Simpson
their
hasn't
shit.
been. They haven't been wrong yet. So
A dead clock is.
They
right
predicted
twice a
us
day.
losing to the fucking Seahawks, those assholes. Broncos.
yeah, not us.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
But just saying, no.
Shut your mouth.
Keep your us talk to yourself.
All right, one last thing before I gotta jet away and let you guys finish this up. Wait, where should we go?
I thought you said.
No, I was saying like one last thing, like one last topic, you know?
Oh, one last topic.
Yeah. I mean, unless there's more to talk about with Michael Cohen.
No, I mean it's an ongoing situation. I think as it come up, we address it.
I'm just saying, there's so many stuff that's happening in politics in general for either Canada or US, especially the US, that shit's gonna hit the fan in the next, I would say, next 4 to 6 months. A lot of stuff is gonna happen. There's too much stuff going on in the world right now. Israeli prime minister is getting charged with fraud. Canada's messed up.
Canada's not messed up, please.
Canada has problems.
Canada has some things they
Canada
need to-
has
We have
problems.
problems, but it's not like we have this dire situation pending
Canadians
overhead.
love to portray this image of we're the happy-go-lucky people that say sorry all the time. And we're all a bunch of fucking assholes. And that's a fucking reality.
Canada's good, but has its problems too. Like, we can talk about what's going on in Montreal with bullshit ass roads right now, which is awful.
Has always been
We
around.
talk about the roads all the fucking time. I'm done talking about the roads.
Like, ain't nothing new.
Look, we know what it is. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want those people on my back.
Yeah, neither do I. Please.
The mayor is an idiot.
Huh? Well, yeah,
I
we
said
can
it.
talk about the
We
mayor.
can say the mayor, bro.
Yeah, we can
I'm
say the
going with
mayor.
those.
I'm cool with saying the mayor. The mayor's an asshole. Yeah, the mayor.
Oh, the woman mayor, you mean, is an
Oh,
idiot.
no, that we're talking.
She's a woman. Am I wrong?
You know what I'm talking about.
Bro,
We good.
she is a woman, but I'm not-
Stop digging.
We
Stop digging. Yo, you
How am I
feds?
digging?
You the feds?
He trying to be Joe Pesci.
You know what I'm saying? You the feds?
He trying to be Joe Pesci. I'll dig the hole. Let's go.
What you trying to find out?
I'm just
Who
saying.
you know that I don't know?
I'm just saying. I know that's what she is.
I
She's a
mean, he's
woman
been
and
on
she's a
that
mayor.
side a few more times than I have, so I'm cool with it. I'm not trying to get in down that road. No,
Nah, I'm not worried about them people.
Watch out over there.
You don't know what people we talking
Watch
about.
out over there, Jason.
Huh?
Like
What people you
Christina.
talking about?
And people you talking about.
I got the Goonies, dog.
He's got them peoples in his
148th
back
and
pocket.
Lennox. I
man.
got the Goonies.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You're from Montreal, bro.
Dipset. I know the people.
You haven't even seen Lennox before.
What are you talking about? I haven't seen Lennox before. Of course I've seen it, dog.
Lewis?
All right. Anything in sports? One last thing before I got a jet and let you guys finish
Well, you
up?
could address and put the final nail in the coffin over this Jesse Smollett case.
Honestly,
That was
He's
on the
going to
docket.
jail.
I don't even. It's ridiculous at this point. Like, bro, like every day there's because apparently, like, what a few days ago they were talking about how he wrote a check for $3,500 to both brothers, but then both brothers came out and said he never wrote a check for them. Like, there's just every day it's fucking chaos with this shit. And the only thing that bugs me about all this is like, and it was one of the first things I mentioned when we brought this story forward is this thing is so wild and so over the top that I would hate to find out that this is bullshit.
I don't think it's bullshit. I think bits and pieces of his story is exaggerated.
Yes.
Just like the TV show he's in. But I think there is some truth to it. It's just a matter of getting to the truth.
You know what I think it is?
What?
I think it's the most sophisticated Nigerian scam of all time.
Okay, so on some serious shit.
It is, dog.
I mean, the
Literally,
FBI,
on some serious
the
shit.
FBI
Let's
did
talk
come
to Molly.
forward and said that the CPD literally, misrepresented his case to the public.
Yeah.
But they haven't said what they misrepresented.
Well, look, it's like I said, it's just been so ridiculous and all over the place because from the initial story that we heard where like he gets jumped, he gets bleach poured on him, a noose around his neck, MAGA country this, the
Right.
letter that was sent to Empire, the Fox.
Fuck, right.
Like the whole thing about it was just like, all right, if you knew there was a threat, if you knew something was against them, why wasn't anything done? Why wasn't it
Right.
made public to essentially try to scare off anybody from doing anything? Because now there's a watchful eye.
Right.
And then as it developed, it was looking like he set the whole thing up because he was not getting paid enough,
Right.
or because they were going to cut his role out of the show. And then
They came forward and said that wasn't true.
Yeah, then they say it's not true. And then we found out about the Nigerian brothers who are friends of his that they say are the ones who jumped him. And apparently there was a check that was written to them, but then it comes out like they come out and say, no, that never happened. He never came to us to do this. We never did this. We never got a check for this, which at the same time, if you're going to run a scam, the last thing you do is write a fucking check.
You feel me?
It's, as Randy Moss said, straight cash, homie. Like, let's be fucking real here. So this shit has been all over the place to the point where like, I feel like I want to be like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Because like I said, the first time we spoke about this, the only thing I had reservations about was the fact that the story was just so expanded and so exaggerated that I prayed it wasn't fake because of people I know, people of color in the LGBTQ community who have dealt with shit like this. And knowing that they've gone through this. So I wouldn't want somebody taking advantage of that emotion, especially if you go as far as to throw politics, race, and gender orientation into that shit. Like, you're putting literally the biggest pot of we have to be careful how we approach this all forward. And that in itself is what would bug me to find out that he made this whole thing up.
But there is reports that he did get beat up. He did go to the hospital.
And
so
and that's
that part of the
thing.
story must be true.
Like, if you go to the hospital and they're like, you have bruised ribs, you
They
have scratched lacerations.
jumped. What happened is he paid them to just
You
to hit
didn't
him.
pay, you,
Look, allegedly. It's
Huh?
all allegedly because, like I said, the Chicago PD said there was payment, but the two brothers themselves came out and said, we never got a check for this. There was no payment. We have nothing in our accounts with. Like, we weren't there. So It's a lot of he said, she said, or they said, they said.
Yeah,
like
but
that's all it is
there's
right now.
Video footage of them in the store buying the same noose that he ended up with on his neck, running into the police station.
But that's a part of the chaos of me not understanding what the fuck's going on.
It's all made up by him.
There's
If they're
footage. There's footage of this.
Yeah,
Because if they're saying like that's the noose that they bought to wrap around his neck, there's no proof that those are the two actual guys that were there and put it around his neck.
Oh yeah, it was them.
Because in
they have
that
the video
video
of that
where,
too. They have video.
but
of
that's
that
what I'm
too.
saying. The
They
video
have
where
video
they
of
jump
him
in,
getting
there's
the noose put around his
confirmation-
neck.
Like
Huh?
there's no confirmation that those two brothers are them in that video.
Oh, they follow the trail. All the video evidence.
Maybe
for
he
that
bought
stuff.
a Burberry sweater, but
Bro.
I'm just saying. But I don't know. I just think the whole thing is just funny
There's just a
and
lot
sad
of
at the same time. I think it got amplified with social media. The way the media
course.
handled it.
well,
was,
and rightfully so, because when you hear a story of this caliber just come forward and you're like your first initial thought is, how could this happen again to somebody
bro,
in this position?
I question that shit.
I need
Oh, of
someone
course, we all
fishy.
did.
I need
We
someone
were
fishy
here
the whole
questioning
time.
it. Like
I was
we
like,
did that. But at the end of the day, it's still like that feeling of, I really hope this didn't happen.
Once he said Chicago, this happened in Chicago. I'm like, really?
That would throw you off. What threw me off is that he was 2 a.m. He was going for Subways and he was in a hotel, 5-star hotel.
He was like Chicago.
threw
Like
me off.
really?
That whole
2 a.m. and it was like the coldest night.
yeah,
It was
one
like
of the-
minus 40
yeah.
out there.
Yeah, but someone in Chicago.
Sorry, man.
saying
Like
this
for
is
me
MAGA
in
country?
Montreal, it could be minus 10. I'm like, yo, Uber Eats, what's good?
Bro, I'm in a hotel. I'm not going nowhere.
But no, even though people like
come on.
someone
And
jump you in Chicago?
even though he
Room
makes 20,000
service.
an episode according to what they're saying.
Room service saying 20,000, my friend.
Exactly. He got it.
I'm still saying.
You
though,
have a
like,
salad or something.
Are you getting jumped in Chicago? I'm like, and someone says this is MAGA country. Really in Chicago?
Yeah, it happened because
But
the
that-
only part of
Look,
Chicago
that goes
that's
into the whole, there are a lot of conflicting things in
yeah,
the
but the part
And
of
look, I'm not sitting here saying that it's 100% true or it's 100% fabricated. I'm just saying at this point, my mind is so fucking boggled by this whole thing that I'm completely bothered by the idea of, if he made this whole shit up, what it entails for people who've actually gone through this.
Well, I'm saying put him in population and be done with
Hey,
it.
if-
Put him in population.
No,
be done with it.
if he made it up, it's a class 4 felony.
Put him in
He's
population.
going to jail.
Yeah, put him in population.
I don't know if he deserved to go to jail, but whatever.
Yeah, man.
Who did he hurt for all of this?
Real people that maybe could have legitimately
Is he
get
the
beat
first
up.
person to conjure up a
He's not the first person, but he's a person of fame that could make it worse.
But he wasn't the first famous person to do it.
But he's making it worse though.
All right, guys, I got to run.
We could end it up though. We're about to.
You wanna
end
shut
the
it
time.
down?
Yeah, we could.
I mean, I was going to let you guys just talk about whatever.
No, it's fine. It's fine. We could
They
wrap.
need me. You hear that?
Not really.
I don't need you. I don't know what the fuck you got that from.
Christina, they need me.
Christina has nothing to say.
They must be your other personalities, not me.
Hey, if they show up, they show up.
All right, let's end it. Anything else to anyone want to plug before?
Yeah, I'll
we had some?
throw a last thing. I just want to thank every single fucking person who sent me a text, a phone call, came by the house, just showed me love, showed me support, sent condolences in whatever grand or small way you did. I truly appreciate it. I took it all to heart. I told my family about it. I showed them messages, all that shit, because I felt it, man. Like you don't realize how big your community is until the community comes and sheds their light on you, and you guys helped me through a very hard fucking time. And to that is the reason why I could be here right now with a smile on my face with my brothers and my sister of a different color and my other brother of a different color in the background. You guys can't see them,
Wow,
but
this guy do see color.
I see all color and I respect all color. I'm not one of those people who are like, I'm colorblind and then they still act racist. So for that, I genuinely want to say thank you guys so much. I love every single fucking one of you. From the bottom of my heart and my family's heart, they appreciate everything you sent, said, did. Honestly, it was amazing. Thank you so much.
All right, we out.
Take care, everyone.
Wait. Let's close it out properly. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of the Don't Be Mad podcast. You know where you can reach us: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Don't Be Mad Pod or Don't Be Mad Podcast. Find us on YouTube. Find our clips, share them, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your pets. We are the Don't Be Mad podcast. Thank you for listening.
Take care, everyone.